Well, I think from a positioning point of view, obviously, I think there's a big gap between the roll-fed systems and the low-entry inkjet devices. So obviously, the market is there for the toner machines, but also from my experience working with the continuous feed systems in EMEA area, you don't see so many opportunities or customers that have that amount of volume. So the entry point from continuous feed is quite high. So even with the current cut sheet competitors that we do have, also their point of entry in regards to monthly volume is quite high. So I think where we are based, our entry point starts somewhere around 100,000 A4s a month. And I think we would find much more opportunities. But also what is particularly interesting is that for customers who are interested to moving to inkjet, they don't need to step up to such a high entry level. They can start, have all the benefits from inkjet technology, but then at a much lower monthly volume and start building it from there. Well, for a point, because I don't think with the current platform we are really aiming for the toner market as such, but I think that there were a lot of customers that moved to toner because there was no alternative in inkjet. So I think what we see also in our current installations, that many times we are replacing toner machines that are not really printing particular toner applications. So customers that have a machine as a backup or small job volume runs compared to a continuous feed device are not specifically looking for that toner color vibrancy or that media flexibility, but at that point there was no real alternative to have a cut sheet machine as a backup system. So, and now there is. Yeah, correct. Of course, in terms of technology, it's 100% different. The whole platform as it is, I think everybody knows the benefits of inkjet, the reliability of the systems, the few moving parts that are inside the machine. It's basically a quite simple core technology. The substrate moves under the heads spray ink and it moves out. So the uptime of the machine is quite high, and also the maintenance, of course, and that's the main advantage, is quite low. So color consistency, all these kind of advantages that inkjet offers, that is what we offer in a small footprint platform. Yes, we have solved that. Well, for us, it was never an issue from the beginning, but obviously because the technology was there, and as you mentioned, we have been building the experience through OEM also quite a lot. But this is actually, obviously, the inkhead technology is from Kyocera, but also the inks are developed by Kyocera. So we moved from the launch, we went with the version 1 ink. We are now at version 2 ink, where we even improved the color vibrancy and the drying behavior. So so far we are getting really, really nice results from this machine. The reception has been, and of course I'm preaching for Kyocera, so forgive me if it sounds a bit colored, but but the customers are really more positive than I was hoping for. So we knew that they were probably a bit hesitant because Kyocera is a new brand, and it's of course you're entering the core processes of your customer, so they would be quite careful to step into a new technology and even a new brand name that still has to prove in this market that they can service and support everything direct. But they have been really enthusiastic and gives a lot of good feedback about what else are they trying, what additional volume they've been able to shift to our platform, which we initially didn't calculate for. So also on the average monthly volumes, it's higher than we expected. So because the customers come in with a certain expectation and they consider also maybe 200,000, 300,000 we can reallocate to the inkjet. But once the machine is in and they start to learn about the machine and how they can tweak the applications, we see they are shifting more and more volumes from offset towards our inkjet platform. At the moment, we are mostly selling it to print service providers who are replacing, in the majority of the occasions, replacing their existing toner-based machines. So either it can be a combination between a color machine and a mono machine, that they shift everything into one inkjet platform. But we also have customers where we are putting it in complementary to their continuous feed systems, for instance. The feedback has been really, really positive. It's one of the reasons why customers are able to shift more volumes onto the platform is because many of the customers are asking us for an ink out contract, which is something we can offer. We have good analysis tools on both on the Fiery but also inside of the machine that can give you a clear cost estimation and ink usage estimation up front. And the majority of our customers are printing the applications that we are aiming for. So the transactional, trans-promotional applications that on average coverage are lower than you would normally print on a toner-based device. So by giving them the liberty to purchase the ink separately, they are more in control of their own costs. So making it also for them to be more competitive in their own markets.